Music, sound effects, and B-roll can be some of the most important parts of getting a cinematic image, but finding them can get really hard. Now, I've used a bunch of different websites to try and find all of these different elements. The monthly cost can get costly though. ARTLIST Max promises to have an all-in-one subscription that covers all of these things. The question is it worth it? Well, that's what we're going to answer in this video, so stay tuned. This video is not sponsored by ARTLIST, however, I do have some affiliate links down below that will get you an additional 2 free months off your subscription if you sign up with them. Let's start with the music. ARTLIST does have a library of over 10,000 songs. It's not the largest library, but I always have 2 main questions when it comes to finding music on these stock sites. What's the quality of the music and how easy is it to search for it? Now, when you first log into the website before you actually start using it there, finding music is pretty straightforward. You can organize by mood, video theme, genre, and instrument there. Like most of the websites, if you've ever been on a stock website there before, you can mix and match some of these things. So for instance, like the other day, I was looking for a bass track for a vlog / tutorial video like this there. I was able to mix and match and then go through and listen to the different songs. Usually there's at least 2 to 3 high quality songs for my specific search that I was looking for. And there is no cap on downloads. You can download as many songs as you'd like there. The one thing that I don't particularly love is the similar songs function. The function is there and it does take you to a few songs, but it is kind of limiting there. And it's not always easy to click through. Sometimes you have to click to the song to be able to pull up whatever the similar songs are. I find like on other platforms, for instance, Epidemic Sound, I do find that I get into bigger rabbit holes. Part of that might be the size of the library. Now, what I typically do on these websites is I know what I'm kind of looking for. So for my YouTube videos and stuff like this, normally I like lo-fi hip hop tracks there. I'll play a couple of them for you here.
Say something.
I also like high energy hip hop songs if we're going to be doing something like a fitness video or something like that. Usually when I'm testing out lenses for this particular channel, I will use cinematic background tracks. So being able to use a mood theme and find those different songs to fit the mood is very, very important to me. From that standpoint, ARTLIST checks all the boxes there and I'm able to find a decent amount of tracks. So between the different genres and the different moods, it's not hard to find songs, you're just not finding a lot. Moving on to sound effects. Sound effects are so important to video. Sound design is what makes video feel real. Even if it's little silly things on Instagram where it is that you pop a graphic up on the screen, all those things are really important to cinematic video. ARTLIST does provide a decent size sound effects library. And again, we also have categories here, which is going to be ambience, realistic, Foley, musical. Foley is really cool because you could use it to add in things like footsteps or dishwashing or anything that is on the screen. That's kind of what Foley is. Most movies, actually, they go back and put things in there. And then the impact sounds and the transitions and all that there, all that stuff really goes in to make a great video. Now, the one thing I'll say there is that, again, this library is not huge, but it is sufficient for what I'd say a web creator that's doing either client work or social media content for themselves. Next up, I want to talk about stock footage. And to be honest with you, of all the things that we're going to talk about in this video, this is probably the biggest selling point for ARTLIST Max. You are getting really high quality cinematic looking stock footage for anything there. You know how the thing goes. Even if you have access and the timing to go and get something shot, having to set those things up can be really difficult depending on what the budget is for the client or just in terms of timing there. I find this very useful. There's an edit that I'm working on from Barcelona. I'm able to find drone shots, time lapses, different streets, even stuff here in Atlanta that comes in very useful. And then for client work, the last shoot that I just did recently, the client really loved the video because they were doing something as simple as olive oils and cooking. I was able to find stock footage to go over what she was talking about. And it just was one of those things where we didn't have the budget or the time. But the fact that I was able to just go into ARTLIST and then there was so much different variation of the same thing that I was looking for, it made it so easy to find that type of footage. I'm someone that's used stock footage sites before. Mainly Drawbacks is the main competitor in this space. In my experience, the ARTLIST Max footage is on par with what you'd find from something like a Drawbacks, which makes it very, very, very useful when you start to think about the high quality music, the high quality sound effects, and the footage that you're looking for there. Huge, huge selling point. But it doesn't stop there. As a creator, a lot of times you need to get specific graphics and overlays and things like that, or even making intro videos and stuff here on YouTube, pointing to certain things if you're demoing a tech video or you're demonstrating products or doing tutorials, a lot like I do. Having templates in there and not having to buy that from a different website is another added value there as well. In addition to the templates, which are more like graphics and overlays, you also have what they call plugins, which you could use stuff like film damage, fill grain, lens flares, all those little things to add that little bit of extra pop to your videos there. And then ARTLIST also has applications. This is not something that I personally use, but I do think it's worth mentioning because it does come with the overall subscription there. If you don't already have an editing software like Premiere Pro or Final Cut Pro or any of that there, they do have an editing software for both video. And then if you don't have Photoshop or Lightroom or the Adobe suite of products, they also have a photo editing app there that can really supplement for those two softwares. I didn't go into depth on those, but just playing around a little bit in the software, it did feel very similar to other professional softwares that I was used to. I'm just used to what I have. But if you're a beginner and you're looking to level up from something like a free software like an iMovie, I think this would be beneficial to you there as well. So all that sounds good there, but what does it cost? They have a couple of different tiered programs here. So the first one is music and sound effects. You get access to all the music, all the sound effects at $9.99 per month. You're only able to use it on one channel per platform. So like for this channel, Creative Tech Lab, I'd be able to use all that music, all those sound effects on Creative Tech Lab on YouTube, Creative Tech Lab on Instagram, on all the other different social media websites. Then there's the Music and Sound Effect Pro, which includes everything that we talked about in the first subscription. However, in the Pro version, you have unlimited license access and unlimited downloads, and you're able to use it across client work as well. So if you did a video for a client, you just go in and clear the license for wherever your client is going to be putting up the video. This is very, very, very useful for people like myself that do both client work and also does social media for themselves. And that's billed at $16.58 per month. And then there's a footage and templates plan that gives you access to just the stock footage and the templates. It is unlimited downloads and unlimited license to use on all your social platforms, all your podcasts, which again is also very competitive with a lot of the other stock video and template sites. But if you get the max plan, you're covered for everything at $35.99 per month. If you're getting the stock footage, you're getting the music, you're getting the sound effects, you're getting everything. This is probably hands down the best price to benefit ratio that you could find out there for a creator. The fact that you could get all of these things into one. Yes, you do sacrifice a little bit on some of the things, but from a price and competitive standpoint there, the stock photos and the templates plus the sound and the music really takes it over the top, and you're able to use all of this in your professional and freelance work there. is really, really beneficial. As far as cons and drawbacks, obviously nothing is perfect. Not everything is all good. As I mentioned there, I think the size of the libraries on the music and the sound effects in particular might be a small hindrance to some people. The quality is good enough to where that you're able to find stuff really easily, but if you're using it a lot and you don't like to repeat, particularly like songs and certain things, that may be a drawback to some people. Also, little things on the user interface in terms of finding the similar songs, being able to go through those things and not ending up in certain rabbit holes is something that's a small drawback for me personally. But again, considering the cost, I think those small trade-offs are well worth it if it is that you're going to be doing things in the full package. If we're just talking music and sound effects, I might look somewhere else. But if I really do need the footage, the templates, the music, the sound effects, the everything, I think this is the way to go, and it's way more than worth it, as we said, to answer the question that I started off in the start of the video. Now again, links are down below for you to get 2 additional free months there from ARTLIST. Those links are affiliate links, so they do give a small kickback to me here on the channel, but it does so at no additional cost to you. And if we get enough signups, maybe we could get some sponsorship, and then I can create even more creative videos for what you guys like there. So hit the subscribe button, hit the notification button, and I'll see you in the next video. Big up yourself. Peace.